Hello, grade 12, it's me again, and it's literature again for us today. And we are back to our books. Find your books, please, very quickly. You know how to press your pause. And it's Act 3, Scene 2 for us today in class, and Scene 3 for you to study on your own. Okay, now, Lesson 17, and we will open our books on page 84. Okay, page 84 starts scene 2 for us. Okay, now first of all we need to make sure that we all read this episode, right? So which means we will spend our 3 or 4 minutes to read and watch the episode together. Okay, so you can open your books and follow the lines along with actors, or you can watch the actors first, but then you will need to listen to it again together with the text. Or first you will read and then you will watch without the text, as you wish. Okay, so the video is yours. You can play it as many times as you wish. And here you go.
Within, it is concluded. Banquo, thy soul's flight, if it find heaven, must find it out tonight.
So here starts the scene that we are interested in today, right? Because you remember these words, you listened to them yesterday.
Is Banquo gone from court?
Aye, madam, but returns again tonight.
Say to the king, I would attend his leisure for a few words.
Madam, I will.
Naught sad, all's spent where our desire is got without content. 'Tis safer to be that which we destroy than by destruction dwell in doubtful joy. Oh, how now, my lord? Why do you keep alone? Of sorriest fancies your companions making, using those thoughts which should indeed have died with them they think on. Things without all remedy should be without regard. What's done is done.
We have scorched the snake, not killed it. She'll close and be herself, whilst our poor malice remains in danger of her former tooth. But let the frame of things disjoint, both the worlds suffer, ere we will eat our meal in fear and sleep in the affliction of these terrible dreams which shake us nightly. Better be with the dead, whom we to gain our peace have sent to peace, than on the torture of the mind to lie in restless ecstasy. Duncan is in his grave. After life's fitful fever, he sleeps well. Treason has done his worst. Nor steel, nor poison, malice domestic, foreign levy, nothing can touch him further.
Come on, gentle my lord. Sleek are your rugged looks. Be bright and jovial among your guests tonight.
So shall I, love, and so I pray be you. Let your remembrance apply to Banquo. Present him eminence both with eye and tongue, unsafe the while that we must lave our honors in these flattering streams and make our faces visits to our hearts, disguising what they are.
You must leave this.
Oh, full of scorpions is my mind, dear wife. Thou knowest that Banquo at his flails lives.
But in the nature's copies not interred.
There's comfort yet, they are assailable. Then be thou jocund. Ere the bat hath flown his cloistered flight, ere to black Hecate summons, the shard-born beetle with his drowsy hums hath rung night's yawning peal, there shall be done a deed of dreadful note.
What's to be done?
Be innocent of the knowledge, dearest Chuck, till thou applaud the deed. Come. Sealing night. Scarf up the tender eye of pitiful day, and with thy bloody and invisible hand, cancel and tear to pieces that great bond which keeps me pale. Light thickens, and the crow makes wing to the rooky wood. Good things of day begin to droop and drowse, whiles night's black agents to their praise do rouse. Thou marvelst at my words, but hold thee still. Things bad begun make strong themselves by ill. So, prithee, go with me.
Now, you will spend another 3 or 4 minutes and you will try and summarize this scene in 3 or 4 sentences. Just, look through it again, okay, and summarize it. Now, character secrets. What's done is done, says Lady Macbeth. This scene marks a change in the relationship between Macbeth and his wife. Both are uneasy about their present situation. Lady Macbeth says, "Knots had all spent," and Macbeth is full of sorriest fancies. However, Lady Macbeth's advice to her husband is simply to forget the events of the past because they cannot be changed. What's done is done, or what's done cannot be undone. She will say later a bit, right? So now, with a partner or on your own. By the way, why don't you invite your parents to be your partners in these discussions if you don't have other students around you? Just an idea. Okay, now, with a partner or without partner, identify some reasons Macbeth gives about why it is impossible for him to forget the past now. So press pause, think, and then we will discuss. Okay, now, let's see. If you look at his monologue in lines 45 to... No, not 45, sorry. I need to go back. Lines... What is that? Like 1, 2, 13. Line 13 to line 26, 27. Okay? So, in these lines, in his speech, he gives some certain reasons why his memory, his burden is impossible to be cast away. So, first of all, he says, "We have scorched the snake, not killed it." Okay, so which means we just wounded, we slashed the snake. And when you touch the snake, when you especially when you wounded, it gets pretty aggressive. It might get aggressive and it might bite you, right? So it means he is in a greater danger now than he was before, and he cannot forget about what he did, because if he forgets and if he relaxes, he will be open to other people to attack him. He will become assailable, as it is said in line 39. Okay, so it says that they are assailable, but if he forgets the past, if he becomes open for other people and their attacks, he will become assailable. Now, other reasons, please. Yes, indeed. So it's similar actually. He says here, our poor Malice remains in danger of her former tooth. It's still about the snake, yes? So he's afraid that someone may attack him, and Malice in this case means, as far as I remember, power, like, okay, unproductive, so poor malice, unproductive power, or unwell power. Okay, so our poor malice, our power will be in danger. So if you forget the past, you, according to Macbeth, become weak. Do you agree with that? Yes, that's why we need to study our history books, right? Okay, do you study history? Good. So remember your past. It will make you stronger today. So what else? Before we eat our meal in fear and sleep in the affliction of these terrible dreams that shake us nightly. So again, it's technically it's about the same thing. So even though this past comes and revisits Macbeth again and again in his dreams or in his thoughts, and even though it frightens him, he still needs to remember it for a brighter future, if there is still a chance for Macbeth to have a kind of a brighter future. So interesting thing. Okay, so we are done with the reasons, because the main reason is just, as I said, to become to keep his strength today. Okay, so but interesting thing he adds here about Duncan. Duncan is in his grave. After life fitful fever, he sleeps well, and nothing bothers Duncan anymore. Nor steel, nor poison, malice, domestic, foreign levy, nothing can touch him further. You see, in some way, Macbeth even, like he is envious. He believes that Duncan now is in much better position that he is. Duncan is dead and nothing bothers him, while he, Macbeth, should carry the burden of this past, and every day he must think about the dangers that other people may cause to him, that the harm that he expects from all around. Okay, and Duncan is not affected by those things anymore. And maybe Macbeth, maybe in his thoughts, somewhere deep inside, he desires to share the Duncan's fate as well. I don't know, but he still lives on. Okay, let's go on. Language secrets now. Animal metaphors. We've met different kinds of metaphors in this story already, like clothes metaphors and what else? Weather metaphors. And now it's time to talk about animals. Shakespeare uses animal imagery for sinister and dramatic effect in lines 36-53. Okay, for example, a bat. A bat is a creature that fulfills Hecate's orders. Hecate, you will see, she's like the main witch, and she's the goddess of all that witchcraft and wizardry, ancient Greek goddess. I don't know what she's doing here, but we will talk about her a bit later, like a couple of lessons later. So the words, for example, ceiling and scarf, in this case, relate to falconry. Do you know what a falcon is? A falcon is a bird that you use for hunting smaller animals, right? Like rabbits or squirrels. And when you train your falcon, so if you are a falconer, which means a person who has a falcon, or who trains a falcon, or who uses falcons for hunting. Okay, if you're a falconer, you would temporarily blind the hawk, or either you can use hawk or you can use a falcon. Okay, so anyway, you will blind your bird of prey so that it would remain dependent on you until it's fully trained. Okay, so in some movies about medieval times, you can see people hunting with falcons, and they keep a special cap on the head of a falcon or hawk. Okay, so this cap keeps the bird blind. Okay, so and in this case, Macbeth here says in lines 36, okay? Okay, full of scorpions, blah blah. Where is this? So, where is the falconry? Can you find the line for me? So, here. Calm, sealing night, scarf up the tender eye of pitiful day, and with the bloody and invisible hand cancel and tear to pieces that great bond which keeps me pale. Okay, so calm night, and you know that night means darkness when nothing can be seen. Okay, so and night, so he expects night to scarf up the tender eye of pitiful day, right? So in this case, day is seen as a falcon, and night is expected to cover the day with this scarf, right? The night will be the falconer, and the day will be the bird, the blind bird. Okay, now if you think about blind bird, what kind of association does it bring into your mind? Okay, is it a good bird? Is it a happy, cheerful bird, or is it? Of course not. Of course, this bird is like, sad, and just to see this bird is very depressive, right? Which means this imagery here brings us some ideas and or brings the mood of depression. And another thing, when the bird is blinded by a falconer, it is actually not free to move on its own, right? It's kind of enslaved, and it is dependent on its owner. Okay, so in this case, day must depend on night. So light must depend on night. Good things must be blinded by bad things, and bad things are expected to be stronger in the world where Macbeth lives. Okay, so, and also when you think about bats, okay, Miss Malak, would you like to touch a bat, like to pat it, to put it in your pocket maybe? No? Why? Disgusting. Oh, they're okay, they're not that disgusting, and they're not vampires, Mr. Hamza. No, they don't drink your blood, at least not all of them. There are just some special kinds of bats that suck other animals' blood, but not human blood. Anyway, so, but usually they just eat insects. But for us, we see them as something disgusting, right? Okay, now we have falcons, blind falcons, and we have bats. Which other, or what other animals does Shakespeare mention in lines 36, 53 that add to the atmosphere, to the mood of gloominess, sadness, depression, dependence? Okay, please look through these lines and quickly find me, say, at least 4 more animals. Three, not 4. Okay, one animal was snake, but it was before. Now, yes, scorpions. First insects, or first like animal insect, okay, would be scorpion for us. Okay, so your associations with scorpion, sweet and nice, right? No. Okay, scorpions, yes, in many cultures scorpions are associated with treachery, okay, with something that, like, when you attack them in the face, they hit you with their tail from kind of from behind, right? You try it, like you attack them and they stab you in the back. Okay, what else? Beetle, indeed. So you can see this beetle in line 42. Okay, ladies, do you like beetles, like, big bugs? Do you like touching them and petting them? Would you like to let them run along your hand? No? No. Okay, so because normally beetles, especially here he says the shard-born beetle with the drowsy hums. Okay, so it's like a big beetle with hard wings, and usually they are, I don't know, like people do not like them. When I was a child, I liked this kind of beetles, and I was even trying to collect them, but no, normally people do not see them as nice and pleasing, and obviously they don't eat them. Okay, and also there is another animal mentioned there. Which one? Yes, line 50. Miss Khadil? Oh, crow. Crow. Is it a nice bird? It's like, no, of course not. A crow usually is associated with something dark. Again, bad news, dark magic, the bird of night. Even though at night crows do not fly, they usually sleep at night, but still they are associated with something dark. Okay, so and all these birds, you see, they're not sweet, fluffy kitlings, or they're not puppies, right? They are animals that usually make you feel uncomfortable. At least, you do not like, you wouldn't like to touch them. Okay, now let's go on. Language secrets of day and night, or of night and day. Macbeth's language, again in lines 46-50, is rich and visceral in its personification of night and day, right? And it invokes vivid images of blood and blindness, evil and darkness, adding to the drama of this scene. Okay, now, what effect does Macbeth's striking poetic language have when contrasted with the sinister atmosphere created by his invocation to evil? So, let's think. I said let's think. 2 minutes to think, not to talk, Miss Wad. Okay, now, indeed, the atmosphere created and the mood created with the help of these animals mentioned before, and when he calls on night to blind the day, okay, the atmosphere is pretty dark, okay, and the language that he uses in this scene is in great contrast with it, because from the very beginning of his last monologue here in line 45, he says to his wife, "Be innocent of the knowledge, dearest Chuck." What does it mean? How do you think? Be innocent of knowledge. Oh yeah, he means here like it's better for you not to know. Okay, it's better for you to be ignorant of some things, dearest Chuck. And Chuck was, or especially dearest Chuck, was the common term of endearment, and technically he's trying to sound soothing here. He's trying to soothe her down, but in a kind of a dark way, because later when he starts talking about day and night and blindness and blood, these are not very soothing things, right? But again he continues, in the end he says, "But hold thee still." It's like, don't worry, like don't worry, don't be anxious, okay? Hold still. Things bad begun make strong themselves by ill. So, I pray you, Go with me. So, you see, it's like close your eyes and entrust yourself to me and my guidance. From now on, interesting thing, you can feel it, that from now on, when he tells her that she should be innocent of knowledge, she shouldn't be nervous, and she should just follow him, he becomes the leader, or at least he is trying to take the leadership in his hands. And this is very interesting. It shows, so this scene, this episode is very important because it shows the change of roles. After this, Lady Macbeth loses her active part in the story, and from now on it is Macbeth who drives the story on and on and on. Okay, so, and these are like the most important parts or the highlights of this episode. Now, to your homework. This time it will be like very short. Just 4 tasks. You will read and listen Act 3, and you remember that to listen it you will need to use track 14 from the audios that I gave you. You will summarize it in just 1 sentence, no more than 1, okay? It will be a trick, okay? And then in Act 3, Scene 2, Macbeth sends 2 murderers to kill Banquo, but in Scene 3, there will be the 3rd murderer. So, like, why? So you will think why Shakespeare adds another person to the story. And exercise 4, just came up to my mind today, because I found the cover of this interesting book and I was wondering what this book might be about, and I think you can wonder too. So think about it, okay? And later you may tell us if you'd like to read it or not. Maybe we will Google it, maybe we will be able to find it and we will read it together later after Macbeth, okay? As for now, that is all, okay? See you later. Say tomorrow? Yeah, I hope tomorrow. See you.